Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Now in this video we're going to be talking about setting up a MaxBounty campaign with Google Ads. And so we're going to learn how to use Google Ads and how does it work and why should you be using Google Ads, picking a MaxBounty campaign, building the landing page, how to configure the tracker for it. We're going to be using the Bmob Tracker, how to configure the actual Google Ads, campaigns, AdWords, ads, keywords, and some of the other things that you need to know, and much more. So why should we be using Google Ads? High quality of buyer intent traffic. So buyer intent traffic means that these people are actually in one of the final stages before purchasing something. So it's not somebody who's looking to get more information, who is just window shopping or just researching something. We can actually target buyer intent keywords. They're also not as strict as Facebook and other platforms. With Facebook, you have to be very careful what kind of things you're promoting because they will just outright ban your account and then you're pretty much screwed. Google Ads doesn't do that. They may disapprove your ad and then you can contact somebody in customer service. I've had that happen to me, and I actually talked to a real human and they solved the issue and the problem was solved. They're easy to get started and track campaign status. So they have an entire, kind of dashboard where you can check everything, what's going on, how your campaign is going, which keywords are being searched, which keywords are being clicked, and even conversions if you have that set up. And we're going to get to that a bit later. And you can also optimize it for any event that you want. And this is kind of similar to Facebook ads where you have optimization, campaign optimization, and where you can optimize for, if you have a Shopify store, or for instance, you can optimize for purchases, add to carts. And if you have if you're promoting different offers, you can also optimize for links and things like that. And the same thing can be done with Google Ads. So it's very powerful this way. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to be picking the offer and then creating the landing page. Then we're going to be setting up the tracker and then setting up Google Ads. All right, guys, so let's jump into this and start working. So while I was browsing around, I really saw this really interesting offer, and this is Envato Elements, which basically is a set of templates and kind of, fonts. And it's a lot of elements for building a website, right? They have templates, themes, plugins, basically enhancements for a website, whether you have a WordPress website or just a regular custom designed website. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you've probably seen me mention this offer a couple of times already. And the truth is, I really like this offer. And one of the reasons I like this offer is it's a very direct offer, right? They know what they're getting. It's a product, right? So, it's really good for designers, for developers. So it's very easy to find people that this could be good for. And another reason I like this offer is that they give you something called a kind of affiliate network publisher toolkit. So when you load up this link, you can basically get some information. Actually, I have this open right here. And so you have a lot of these kind of things, right? They give you swipe copy and emails, banners, increase revenue from WordPress. They give you some advice, so they give you a lot of good things. And if you're not familiar, Envato is actually a pretty well-known and established company, right? They have they've been around for a while, and they have a lot of quality products. So I was attracted to this offer for the following reasons, and I opened the swipe copy, and immediately I see like some copywriting text that we can use on the landing page. So this is very helpful to us. Social media, Facebook posts and tweets, how you can promote it, YouTube description, how you can promote it there. So, not a lot of offers do this. So this is one of the things that led me to it. And plus, I was already familiar with Envato and what they do because, I built a lot of WordPress sites and do a lot of marketing. And so I was already familiar with this. So, now that I'm familiar with it and that I was familiar with it, I don't really need to spend a lot of time wondering, will it sell, will it not sell? I knew it would sell. And so I was pretty sure I will be able to market it, or at least try to market it. And so I basically went to this offer. Then I went to, I opened this package. I looked at it. I opened the PDF. I downloaded, there's a lot of banners, and things like that. And then the next thing I went and I started building a landing page, okay? And in order to save a lot of time, we're not gonna build this landing page. I just showed you that, I already built a landing page. And what I did, I used one of the templates that I have with my WordPress tool, and I essentially changed the text. So this is a very simple landing page. Let me show you what it looks like. And what I did is I basically put in the kind of this header here that was provided by Envato. So Envato already provided me this header. Let me find it. Yeah, right here. So once we open this PDF, we have this unlimited downloads, subscribe to Envato, one subscription is all you need. And I'm assuming the reason they're telling us this is because it's probably converting very well, right? They're not going to tell us stuff that's poorly converting. So I'm assuming this is converting. And at least this is something to get started, and we can always A/B test it and see if other things convert as well. And so this is what I started with, and I went ahead and created a very, very quick landing page. We have this header that they showed us. We have one subscription is all you need. So it's a very powerful kind of copywriting. There are some elements here. You can download it now, and that links to the offer. Leading companies using Envato. This is from the landing page. Obviously, you would want to change this because this is not applicable to Envato itself. We'll maybe put some other companies using Envato here. Why choose Envato Elements? And then I basically changed this. The fastest way to build a website with Envato Elements, you don't need to worry about obtaining the content because you now have access to an entire library of amazing content you can use. So this is one benefit. There's a couple of other benefits that you can put. You can even put some testimonials that Envato provides, or maybe even go to Envato website. I've seen one of their landing pages with testimonials that you can use. Don't hesitate, get started with Envato Elements. So this is a very, very simple landing page, right? It's not a very complicated landing page. And of course, when you have this offer, it's already linking to a landing page, right? So you have a landing page right here. Now, as you know, I probably mentioned this a lot in the videos. I don't really like linking directly to a offer. I always like to create my own landing page because 99% of the time it's going to convert much, much better than linking to an offer directly. And furthermore, Google doesn't really like when you link directly. Like Bing is okay with it, but Google Ads, they frown upon it, and Facebook doesn't like it at all. And so it's always a good idea to create a landing page. And it took me about 15 minutes to create this landing page. And you can create a couple of these, change some fonts, colors, templates, things like that. So you can have a couple of landing pages for split testing. Okay, so now that we have a landing page, we got this landing page, I use some of this stuff here. The next thing that I did is I went to my tracker. Right now I'm using a Bmob Tracker that is a great tracker, and it's very similar to Volume, and pretty much all of these affiliate trackers, they all work very, very similar. ClickMagick, it works very, very similar. So don't get hung up into the details, because if you figure out how to use one of these trackers, you pretty much know how to use them all. And so what I did here, the way you set up a tracker is you first set up traffic sources, right? So you go to traffic sources and you first configure that. So you have Google AdWords, Facebook, YouTube, Bing. I already have Google AdWords. So I already set that up. If you want to set it up yourself, you go to New from Template, click on that and basically type Google AdWords and you choose this. Next, we set up affiliate networks. I already have ClickBank and MaxBounty, but if you don't, you go from New from Template, click on that and then type whatever you want to set up. In this case, we're using MaxBounty, so that's what I'm going to use. I got MaxBounty set up. Next, we set up the landing pages, okay? And this is where, the next logical step is when, they click on our traffic source and then they go to the landing page. And I have a bunch of landing pages here. And what I have is I already set up this Envato landing page. And the way you do it is you basically click New, type the name, in this case it would be Envato, and then type the URL of the landing page that we have. You can also pick the country that you want, but that's strictly for reports purposes. You can leave it as global or United States. I will be only using United States traffic for now in one of the initial campaign stages. If it works well, I will expand it to more English-speaking tier 1 countries. So we have that set up. The next is the offers. We click on offers, click New, and then you can set up the offer. So this is the offer that we have on MaxBounty, and in order to get the URL, so what I do is I click build the tracking link, I click that, I click search, I click raw link, and now I have a link right here. I copy that, I go back to my Bmob Tracker, and I paste it in here as the URL, because this is where it's going to redirect to the offer. Now, I already went ahead and created this offer here. So just to save us some time, we can go and edit this, and I can show you. Now I already have the link, I have the name, it's global. We can keep it as global or rename it to United States. We can save this, and now we have an offer for United States. And so we have this offer. So now we have 4 things that we need to initially do. Traffic sources, affiliate networks, landings, and offers. These are the 4 elements that usually create for each campaign, because campaign is basically a combination of these 4. And you also have flows, but I typically just use built-in flows, and I'll show you what I mean. The next thing you do is you go to campaigns and you create a new campaign. So I already created this campaign, but if you don't have it yet, you click on this new button, you enter the name, I do Envato, and basically I pick the traffic source, and we're using Google AdWords, and then I go and build in my flow here. So I'll show you the flows that I created, because a campaign is basically traffic source on one hand and the different flows, basically the landing pages and the offers, how they interact, where the user goes, the percentage of the split traffic we're splitting between each of the landing pages. So let me show you the campaign that I created. We're going to go and edit this campaign. And so as you can see, it's called Envato. Google AdWords is the traffic source. We can make it United States, since I'm only using United States. Everything else is kept default values. Destination is built-in flow. Now you can create a custom flow, but that's, if you want to do that, if you want to reuse that flow for other things, for other campaigns maybe, have it saved. But I typically build built-in flow. It takes me like 1 second, 1 minute or so just to create it. So we have the path. We're going to be using landing pages. Now you can choose to use it. You can choose to not use it. We are using landing pages. I already have a landing page here. Next are the offers. We basically have an offer here, 1 offer, 1 landing page, and that's all we have. And obviously 100% of the traffic is going to go to that landing page, and 100% of the traffic is going to follow up to that offer. We're going to get out, and now we have a campaign. So now that you have a campaign, you can click on this button here, campaign links, and you essentially have various URLs, right? So we have the test URL for testing, and then we have the campaign URL for the actual live URL. And then so we also have the click URL and the multi-click offer URL. And so we're going to be using these 2 links, this campaign URL and the click URL. Now the click URL, we can use it already, right? That basically goes for these buttons here. The buttons on the landing page. And I already went ahead and set it up. So this already has it, right? So we edit this page and we click on download now. You will see that I already have this configured here, which I got from the Bmob campaign links settings and all that. So if we scroll down, I did the same thing for that. So we already have the link URL for that. So when they click, when the user goes from Google Ads, they land on this landing page, they click, they're going to be redirected to the first campaign. And the reason we're not linking directly to the campaign is that, this is to make it flexible, right? Because right now, we have one offer, but let's say we want to create 2 more offers and split 33%, 33, 33. If we decide to do that, then we don't really need to change links and all that. The link is going to stay the same. All we need to do is create 3 different offers. So the whole purpose is to make it super flexible, right? We have a link that really doesn't need to be changed unless you stop using Bmob Tracker. Then you have to change the link, obviously. And so we have that. Now we have it all set up. We have the link. Now, when you click on the campaign links, you also have this campaign URL. This is the initial URL that you give to your traffic source, right? A lot of people are confused whether to use the click URL or the campaign URL. So the campaign URL goes to the traffic source. This is what people click on. And this is the initial kind of URL. And the reason it is that you see there are all of these like parameters and variables. And when you give it to Google, Google is actually going to replace these variables with the proper keyword, the placement, the ad position, all of that. So when you are actually looking at your stats later on, you have some sales and whatnot, you're actually going to be able to see which keywords resulted in that sales, or which ad position, your campaign name, the place ID, all of these variables, you're going to be able to know right back whether these specific keywords, these specific positions, these specific AdWords and campaign names resulted in the specific sale. So we're going to close this. So now we have the tracker fully configured. We have the link, we have the campaign URL, and that is the link that we need to use in Google Ads. So now we're going to go into my Google Ads screen. And Google Ads, if you haven't used it, is really great. It's very intuitive, very easy to use. And on the left-hand side, we have, you know, types of campaigns. We have search campaigns and video campaigns. Because if you want to run YouTube ads, you basically create a video campaign. And I will make a future video about that because it's very, very powerful. But for this case, we're just having search campaigns. Now, I have a bunch of campaigns here for a bunch of other products and things like that. I also created an Envato search campaign. But I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to walk with you through the entire process. So if I click on that campaign, I basically have one ad group called WordPress. And inside that ad group, I have a bunch of keywords. Okay, I have a bunch of keywords. And what I basically use, so I'm going to show you, let's create a new campaign just so that I can show you the process again. So if we go to the overview here, and now what we can do is we can create a brand new campaign. So we can click this button, and it's going to basically load us to a new campaign screen. So I can walk with you through the entire process and explain to you how things work. Now, when you start creating a campaign, you have sales, leads, website traffic, product consideration. These are basically like templates. These are goals. Now, obviously, we want sales, right? We want to sell that product. But the problem with sales is that Google does not know if we sell anything. Google needs to know that we're actually selling because we need to send that event back to Google. But, you know, this is our flow right here. And the problem with affiliate marketing is that, you know, it's very hard for us to know if we sell, right? We need to feed that data back to Google. And while the tracker feeds that data back to us, it doesn't feed it back to Google. There needs to be a couple of workarounds to do that. So it's a little complicated in order to get that data. So we cannot really optimize for purchase because we don't have access to that thank you page. Now, what we can optimize, and this is like advanced stuff, is for this click to the offer page. I also talk about this method in one of the Facebook videos. So if you see a video on Facebook, conversion optimization, you're gonna learn about this method as well. And this is the same thing with Google, is that in order to use the sales method, we need to basically feed that data back to Google. And we can't do that because, you know, the purchases take place on a third-party website. So we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to create a website traffic campaign. So we click on this. We're going to pick search. Okay, and this is, you know, our website. I'm just going to put in a website that I use. We're going to click on continue. And the campaign name. So let's call it Envato 2. And maybe Envato Search 2 or something like this. Now this is very, very important. The next you have this network section, and you always want to unselect Google Display Ads Network because this is no longer search anymore. You only want it to be displayed on Search Network and Search Partners. This is now a display network, so it's going to be displayed on sites that are relevant, that Google believes are relevant. So this is no longer search traffic people are searching for. This is sites that Google believes are relevant. So I never choose this because in my experience it just wastes money. Locations, we pick United States. Next we pick English. We already have English here. Audiences. Now this is a lot about, you know, this is specific audiences, and these are things like, you know, lookalike audience like you have on Facebook and things like that. We don't have any other audience. We're not, you know, we're not going to be picking any of this, right? We're going to be focusing on keywords, right? We don't really care who is searching and all that. We only care about keywords right now. We put in our daily budget, put to $20 per day if you want. And here, this is where the bidding takes place. Now, when you think about Google AdWords, you immediately think about clicks, right? You're bidding per clicks. But you can also bid on conversions. You can also bid on conversion value and impressions, right? We don't care about that because impressions are something different. Impressions is where you're bidding just to have that ad shown. Clicks is where you're bidding for people to click on. Impressions is where you're bidding regardless if somebody clicks or not. We're not doing that. And conversions, we cannot optimize for conversions because we have no way of sending those events back. In one of the other videos, I'm going to do an advanced tutorial where I'm going to show you a workaround for doing that for affiliate marketing. But right now, we cannot do that. So we can bid for conversions, we can bid for conversion value. So once we know what is that value that's important to us, so let's say, you know, it costs us X amount of money to have a conversion, and we can bid for that value. This is like advanced stuff. And very interesting. So we can basically, I'm going to choose clicks here just to keep it simple. And we're going to scroll down. And here's where you have various extensions. Now, what are extensions? Extensions are something that show up in search results, right? So this is, you know, you have your search snippet, you have your headline, you have your description, you have something else, and then you might have some other benefits, or you might have a phone number that they could call a business. It's anything that's beyond, you know, the basic stuff, the headline and the description and the link, right? These are standard, but then you have extra. And these are, you know, you have site link extensions, call out extensions, call extensions. So for instance, a site link extension is add additional links to your ad. Call out is add more business information to your ad. Call extension is add a phone number. And there's other ad extensions. We're not going to be using extensions in this video. I might make another video. I don't want to make it too complicated. I just want to keep moving. And what we do is we click save and continue. And now in this part, we can finally start creating our ad groups. Now, the way you should think about an ad group is it groups different ads, meaning that and it groups different keywords. So think about an ad group as linked to a landing page. So if you have, let's say, one landing page that says, hey guys, create websites faster, speed is very important, you can target different keywords for that landing page to sell this offer. Another one could be about saving time. Another one could be about unlimited elements that you can use. So different benefits, different, unique value propositions that you can use. And these are different ad groups. We're going to keep it simple. We're just going to create one ad group. And just for this example, so I'm just going to call it WordPress because we're going to be targeting WordPress users for this ad group. Okay. Now we need to enter or paste your keywords, one word or phrase per line. So in order to create keywords, I basically went to a tool called AdWords Keyword Generator, and there's a lot of tools that do this, and basically it's very easily it's a good tool to basically create groups of keywords very, very quickly. And so the way I like to do it is I have my group A, B, and C, D. You could have 4 groups, up to 4 groups. And what I did is in group A I put WordPress and website because these products are designed for WordPress sites or regular websites. And then I put themes, plugins, templates. I can also put fonts. I can also, you could put something else, obviously, other elements. And what I have is WordPress website here, themes, plugins, templates, and fonts here. And the way I like to do it is I like to create a modified broad match and an exact match. So what is a modified broad match? So let's go and generate this. It already generated, and we can copy this. And I'm going to explain to you what a modified and what are these, search match types are. And so when you have a word with a plus sign in the beginning, that means that that word needs to show up, okay? This is still a broad match, meaning like the exact key phrase it's going to include these 2 words, but it may have other words in there as well. But I tell Google that only show my ad when these 2 words are included. And they could be included in any order, but they must be included. Okay, now you can have other words, you can have a whole sentence, whatever it is, but I want these 2 words to be included. The next is an exact match. When you have 2 brackets, that's an exact match. And that just means I only want to be show my ad when you show these 2 matches, when only these 2 words in this order are displayed. There's also something called the phrase match, which is something like this, and that's basically when these 2 words are included in the in the query, right? When they're included in the query, and the query might have something else. Okay, so it's kind of in between broad match and exact match. I don't really use this. I suppose you can use it. But what I like to do is I like to basically use a modified broad match and an exact match. And then I can basically assign different budgets to this keyword. So like I could say $1 or 85 cents for the modified broad match, and for the exact match, I like to have it a little bit higher than that. Okay, because you never want to use, the thing is, you never want to do something like this, because that's gonna, not only is it gonna match basically website fonts, but Google is also going to, it might replace website with a similar term, right? It's too broad. And you might actually have things that you might be matching for things that you don't want to be matching for. So you never want to be doing that. But a modified broad match gives us enough flexibility so that we can still match for more bigger, more specific, or more general terms, but it makes sure that we have both of these there. Now this is just a simple list, something very quick, just to just to show you how it works. We can also create a new ad group for a different kind of facet, a different side of the product that we want to promote. Maybe it's some other elements, but for now I have this ad group. We're going to click on save and continue. And now we have to create the ad. And now I have this URL here. And so in order to create the ad, right, you have to fill out the headline, headline 2, and all that. So what you can do is you can basically go back to our swipe file, and you can use something like this, unlimited download. You can basically do this. Now we cannot copy and paste this, but you can basically something like unlimited download, 600,000 templates, fonts, photos. So I went ahead and basically created all the ads for us, and now I'm back in the campaign screen just to keep it very quick. And what I have is an ad here, and we can actually edit this ad, and I can show you what it looks like. And it has a headline here, download now, download all the content you want. And we have a simple ad here. Now, of course, you can also create extensions. You can create other things. You have ad URL options. And this is where you put the tracking template, okay? And the tracking template is what we got back from Bmob, right? So we can go back to Bmob. We can grab this. We can click on our campaign link. Copy this campaign URL, go back and paste it here. Okay, and we also need to add a parameter, URL equals LP URL, because Google is going to complain. And that's what we have. So now we have we can save ad, and it's telling us that we can create more ads. We know that. And now we have basically a campaign all done. And so when it runs, it's going to be matched for these keywords that we have here. Okay, so we have these keywords. We have all this stuff. So basically it's going to match. We have a modified broad match that we make sure those two words appear there. So Google is not going to be changing, because broad is very, very broad. It may appear, another word may appear. It's very broad, and we don't want to go that broad, right? And on the other hand, we want, website template. We want to match we want to be broad so that we can match for different queries, but we want to make sure at least we put some constraint. Another thing that you can add that's very important is something called negative keywords. Now, negative keywords are basically keywords that you do not want to be matched for. So these are things that could be as free download, coupon, or something very, basically you want to eliminate all of these people that are just looking for something for free, right? People that are searching for torrents or cracked, free fonts or something like that. You don't want to get that kind of traffic. So you can click on negative keywords and basically add some of these keywords. Now, if you Google for something like a negative keyword list, you will have a whole entire list of negative keywords that you can add. So at this point, we have our campaign, we have an ad group, and so we are pretty much good to go, right? The only thing that's left is that I have it paused right now, but if you enable it, it's going to go into review, and hopefully it's going to be reviewed and you will be able to run it. Of course, there are a couple of more things that you can do. You can create other ad groups. You can create more landing pages. You can set up optimization for link clicks, so at least you're optimizing for people that are actually clicking on that button, right? They're clicking on that button in order to go to the next page. But that is an advanced topic, and that is going to be another video where I'm going to talk about basically creating how to optimize for conversions, because that is very, very powerful. But I want to keep this video nice and short. I want to keep it very brief so that you understand the whole, basically the crux of it, and then you can kind of add, create new ad groups, create new keywords, things like that. But at least you have an idea how things work. And so we talked about the Google Ads campaign structure, one campaign per product, multiple ad groups per campaign, multiple ads per ad groups, and typically you want one ad group corresponds to one landing page. And then there are also various extensions. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to give you a brief overview of the power of Google Ads, the importance of picking the right MaxBounty offer or a ClickBank offer, how to create a landing page very quickly, how to configure the tracker, and then how to configure Google AdWords so that you can start displaying these ads and start to get these clicks and start to see if they're converting and whatnot. And if you have the proper tracker set up, you will be able to see, the keywords that are converting, everything, the keywords that are not converting, what's working, what's not working. And then later on, you can do some crazy optimizations in Google Ads. But that's a topic for another video. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you've gotten some value out of it. If you enjoyed this video, definitely click the like button. Leave your questions or comments below. I answer pretty much all the questions and comments. I love receiving them. And definitely subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of content, affiliate marketing, website building, SEO, making money online in different ways. So a lot of interesting things are coming up. Definitely check out some of the previous videos where I talked about all kinds of other, Facebook ads, Bing ads, and all these things. And so again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.